And guys, team number 18 isn't this wild? We're already 18 teams deep into this series, and we're about to start the next series once we run through them. But the Hawks, off-season, we're going to talk about what are their upcoming priorities. In my next video about the Hawks will probably be a prediction. So this is what we're going to highlight, what they should do, and things they should focus on. So let's get in. What, in your opinion, in the comment section, let me hear, who do you think the Atlanta Hawks should do? All right? And you just heard a text message. My girlfriend's texting me because she wants to go get food. And let's go. I want to hear another expense for me today. I want to hear your opinions down below, guys. What do you think? Like and subscribe. So the Atlanta Hawks fell back down to earth after an incredible run the year before. We fell back down to earth, and let's agree, it all started and ended with defense. This team played great when their defense was on top. And they looked abysmal. They looked like the epitome of bums when they did not play defense. And I think this is something that, look, the Hawks by all means are a very, very, very good team. And we finally have a backup point guard in the long right, it looks like. And there's very few question marks. It's really, let's get defense. Let's get good at defense. And let's talk about it because Trae Young's maximum extension is kicking in. So the key decisions for them will include clearing up money to open up spending power, reshape their core through trades potentially, and maybe extending certain, players. And look, Danilo Gallinari and the luxury tax. I love Danilo Gallinari, and I thought he was going to be maybe traded during the season because he was struggling, but then he turned it around and he looked like every worth of his money. But he has almost $22 million due this upcoming year, but it's only guaranteed by $5 million, which means the Hawks will be probably fielding trade offers for Gallinari's expiring salary to use as a salary matching, and then the team he gets traded to, they'll probably waive him. But regardless, there's a strong possibility that they're going to be waiving him if he does not get traded, because if they waive him, it's only $5 million they have to pay. 21 or 5, So the Hawks are projected to be $6.3 million over the luxury tax with only 10 players on the roster. And waiving Gallinari and taking that $5 million dead cap hit will leave them $10.2 million below the luxury tax. And they could waive and stretch him and incur only a $1.7 million cap hit. But then they wouldn't be able to re-sign him once he clears waivers. So just know, if they do waive him, it could be to potentially bring him back on a very much team-friendly deal. And the reason why they would do this, they could get themselves a $10.3 million mid-level exception, which is huge. And the other thing is that their contract for DeAndre Hunter will kick in next year. So they're probably going to have to figure it out, because the Hawks, if they intend to avoid the luxury tax next season, that could mean not bringing back DeLon Wright. I think they need to bring back DeLon Wright. And it's hard because Gallinari was awesome, but salary means you might have to do it if you want to have the flexibility to re-sign Wright or use the taxpayer mid-level exception, but not both, because they would be over the luxury tax. But look, the Hawks could further decrease, the payroll and the luxury tax and increase flexibility below the luxury tax to allow spending elsewhere. With that being said, it would mean moving one of the likes of John Collins, Clint Capella, Bogdanovich. I'm not putting Kevin Huerter in there because I really like Kevin Huerter, and I think the Hawks really like Kevin Huerter like I do, and I think Kevin Huerter is like the perfect fourth guy on a team, okay? And it would make sense for a consolidation trade where maybe they trade John Collins or Clint Capella or Bogdanovich for like 3 players that they can spread the salaries around. In that case, they would be able, to get themselves a backup point guard or keep DeLon Wright. And DeLon Wright's been awesome because he's been awesome defensively, and he's played some huge minutes defending the opposing team's top guards. And provided the Hawks resign him, I think it's because they're gonna make a move, and I think they're gonna move Gallinari because Jalen Johnson is waiting for the opportunity. Plus, they can go pursue Otto Porter, Thaddeus Young, or Kyle Anderson, who will be guys who will be making contracts under $10 million, probably between $5 and $10 million. And with DeAndre Hunter, look, he could become eligible. I mean, he already signed it, but it's because right here I'm reading an article that on October 19th, 2021, DeAndre Hunter who was entering his third season at that time, received a contract extension for $65 million. But then when I go to Spot Rack or Sport Rack or whatever that's called, or Sport Track, I don't even know, the contract website, and even on this Hoops Hype, it says he hasn't gotten his contract. So I don't know what to know. Looks like he doesn't have his contract. And also Bogdan could get an extension. I say keep Hunter, but move. You know, if you're going to move somebody, Bogdan should be the guy you could potentially move. But Bogdan went off. You know, really, I like Clint Capella unless you think Onyeka Okongwu's ready and you want to start playing him, then move Clint Capella and keep Bogdan. But it looks like Danilo Gallinari and somebody else is moving. So what else do you think needs to be done? Okay? And I'm going to take a screenshot of this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, peace out.